Hey, I'm Sonic, the fastest hedgehog alive.
Hi Sonica, can you take a moment to take an interview?
That sounds great. I love interviews. What do you want to know about?
So, the first question, how fast can you run?
Well, you're not going to believe this. I can run faster than the speed of sound. I can actually run faster than the speed of light. I can even run through time itself.
How SEGA is doing nowadays?
SEGA's doing great. We just put out our new open world game, Sonic Frontiers, and it's pretty fun. It's been getting great reviews too. I think it might be my best 3D game. It's way better than Sonic Lost World. That game was terrible.
Your relationship with Mario, are you guys rivals or is it just became a thing of the past?
Mario, me and him are rivals for sure. We're actually very similar. Mario's cool, and I know he's a good guy. But you know what? I can run faster. That makes me better. Mario and Luigi will get to stay in my shaft.
Your hardest enemy?
My hardest enemy definitely has to be Eggman. He's very smart and powerful. He's always trying new schemes and coming up with new robots and machines. I've got to be fast, brave, strong, smart, and really lucky if I want to stop him. He's a real threat to the world, and I've got to do everything I can to stop him.
What's up with your shoes? It looks like they're indestructible.
Ha! Good question. My shoes are actually very fast shoes. They're made with materials from my world that are able to withstand extreme speeds and friction. In fact, my shoes are actually the source of my speed. They're very light and allow me to run really fast. But they're not indestructible. They're not invincible. I have to be careful not to get them too hot, or they could melt and then I would lose my speed.
So anyone could be as fast as you with the exact ones?
Yep! I mean, theoretically, anyone could gain speed like me by wearing my shoes. However, not everyone would have the courage and skill to master super speed. It takes years of training and practice to be able to control my max speed. I think most people would be scared by how fast they could go and how much power they have. I've dedicated my life to being the fastest being alive. I can't let anyone take that away from me.
The best and the worst game by your opinion?
Well, I think my best game is Sonic 3, Knuckles. It's the perfect blend of platform action, speed, and platforming. And it's got great level design. It's got some of my best bosses. And the final fight is epic. Plus the soundtrack is amazing. Worst? Probably Sonic Lost World. The game had terrible gameplay, terrible level design, and an awful soundtrack. Plus it had some of the worst bosses in the series. It's no surprise how poorly the game did.
Interesting choice. What about the best and worst games except Sonic franchise?
Best would have to be Super Mario Odyssey. It's just a really solid 3D platformer. It's got great level design, great mechanics, and a lot of cool power-ups. Worst game, Sonic.EXE easily. It's an awful game that's riddled with bugs and glitches. The gameplay is bad, and the story is awful. There's nothing good about Sonic.EXE at all. It's just terrible.
Why Tails has two tails?
It's actually never explained. We just know that he was born with two tails, personally. I think he's really lucky. It makes him look unique. And I think it helps him fly better too. Tails is really smart, and he's able to build rockets and machines that let him fly faster than me. I've never seen anyone else fly faster than Tails actually, but I am really happy to have Tails as a friend.
The best piece of Sonic fan-made content?
That's tough. I'd say either Sonic Mania or Sonic GT. Sonic Mania is a perfect reimagining of the classic Sonic games that keeps the best elements from the classics, while also adding new levels and IDs. It's a blast to play through, and it's definitely one of my favorite Sonic fan-made games. Sonic GT is another amazing one. It's a fan game that lets you play as tons of different characters. It's got tons of levels and tons of content, and it's just really well done.
The biggest amount of rings you got?
Probably 1001 level. I'm really good at hoarding rings. I collect them whenever I can, and I try to never lose any. I've gotten so good that I can even pick up rings while I'm running at top speed without missing a beat. It's a habit I've developed over the years, but it's come in handy a lot of times. It's always a good idea to have more rings, since that means I'll have more chances to survive when I get hit.
The best musician by your opinion?
Easy, I would say Jon Snow. He's been the lead composer for the Sonic series since the very beginning, and his music is always amazing. is really good at capturing the feeling of Sonic games, and his music is always catchy and fun. I find myself humming his music a lot, and it always gets me pumped up. It definitely has to be Jun. He's my favorite composer of all time.
What do you think about the Game Awards situation with Genshin Impact?
I think Genshin Impact was definitely worthy of the award. It's a really impressive game, and it's amazing how much detail and effort was put into it. It really does feel like you're traveling through beautiful fantasy worlds, and the music is amazing. Not to mention the combat is really fun and challenging. I think Genshin Impact deserves all the praise and recognition that it gets. It's a really fun and unique game, and I've been impressed by it since day one.
Why do you always wear gloves?
Well, my gloves help me grip things while running at high speed. It would be pretty hard to hold on to things like chili dogs or rings when I'm running over 800 miles per hour. My gloves allow me to have a tighter grip on things, and their padding helps to protect my hands from the friction of the wind. They might not look that important, but they're actually a pretty vital part of my costume. I can't imagine going on an adventure without them.
What is Eggman doing now?
Right now, our good friend Eggman is currently planning something big. He's got an army of robots called the Hard-Boiled Heavies, and they're all pretty nasty. They're armed with special weapons that can fire lasers, and they have a lot of special abilities that make them really tough to beat. I'll be ready for him, though, if he tries anything. I'll be able to make short work of his robots and bring him to justice. No matter how many robots he throws at me, I'll always win.
Do you know Damien Walters? He was the first guy to complete the loop.
Of course I do. He's an amazing stuntman. I love watching his videos. He's always coming up with new and crazy stunts, and it's really inspiring to see him perform. His feats of athleticism are truly one of a kind, and I'm always in awe of his skills. He's definitely a master at his craft, and he has a lot of courage and determination. I think anyone can be great if they work hard enough, and I think Damien Walters is a great example of that. He's definitely one of my heroes.
The best fan-made Sonic movie or animation?
I think the best fan-made Sonic movie or animation would have to be Sonic. Night of the Hedgehog. It's a really well-made animation that uses 2D and 3D animation techniques in a really cool way. The story is really well written and interesting, and the characters are all brought to life in a way that really fits them perfectly. I think Night of the Hedgehog is a fantastic fan animation that perfectly captures what makes this franchise great. It's definitely a must-watch for any Sonic fan.
Do you know about Sonic.EXE?
Yay! Sonic.EXE is a really creepy fan-made character ideology. You read a lot of stories about him, and he's definitely not someone you want to be around. He's evil and unpredictable, and he has some really creepy abilities, including the ability to manipulate your mind and make you see things that ain't here and really there. He also has the power to transform you into your worst nightmares. And he has an army of demons that will hunt you down and kill you in the most horrific ways possible. He's definitely my worst nightmare.
The weirdest Sonic game ever?
I'd say the weirdest Sonic game would probably have to be Sonic Generations. It's a game where you play as past and future versions of Sonic on different levels throughout different time periods. That sounds pretty simple, but it gets really crazy once you start playing. There's all sorts of weird time travel and dimension hopping, and things get pretty confusing pretty fast. It's definitely a strange experience, and not for everyone, but I think it's a really unique Sonic game with a lot of really cool ideas.
And finally, the last question on what inspires you to go through every obstacle at the speed of light?
What inspires me to go through every obstacle at the speed of light? Well, I think it's a combination of things. I love adventure and excitement. I love seeing new places and meeting new people. And I love the freedom of being able to run as fast as I can without having to worry about anything else. It's a great feeling to be able to just move at full speed, with no one or nothing holding you back. The world is your oyster, and you can do anything you want in this life. That is what motivates me to go fast.
I guess I asked everything I wanted. Thanks for the interview, Sonic.
Thanks for the interview. I always love talking to new people and answering their questions. I hope I could give you some insight into Sonic and what makes him tick. Good luck with everything, and keep running at the speed of sound. He definitely